Welcome into South Florida Daily. I'm Kate Monahan.
I'm Megan Hayes. Today we are in Jupiter at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. It's time for some baseball. Roger Dean is home for spring training to the Miami Marlins and the St. Louis Cardinals.
If you haven't checked out spring training, your last chance is this Sunday, March 24th. For a full schedule and to get tickets, visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com.
We have a jam-packed show for you today, so let's go ahead and dive right in. If you love smoky cocktails, then listen up because we are learning all about a mezcal brand that you might just love. Tom Kerner is here with Mezcal Union. Thanks for joining us, Tom.
My pleasure.
Okay, so tell us about Mezcal Union. How did this get started? Where did this brand come about?
Yeah, first of all, thanks so much for having us. This brand came about basically trying to accomplish three different things. Get mezcal out to the world. 2, drive economic development to a part of Mexico that has seen not much of that. Oaxaca is still culturally so rich, but economically very, very poor. And 3, most importantly for us, preserve the artisanal, traditional production practices that make it so special and what we all fell in love with it. And so what that all amounted to was really leaning into a concept called unity and realizing that by uniting small-scale producers and farming communities, we can make sure that this tradition stays traditional and artisanal while being able to share it with the world.
This is from Oaxaca, you were saying?
Correct.
Okay, so every bottle comes out of Oaxaca?
Yes, it's made up of blends of small batch mezcal from multiple producer families from 9 different regions across Oaxaca.
And describe the taste of this particular mezcal.
Yeah, so Mezcal Union Uno, we call this one, is very much a balanced mix of the flavors of the agave. We're using 2 different agaves, which makes us quite different from a lot of other brands out there. Espadín and Cereal, they each have their own distinct flavor profile. A lot like wine with grape varieties. Different grapes have different flavor profiles. And this tends to be quite balanced between the flavor of making it, which tends to lean towards that smoky earthiness, and the flavor of the plant themselves. So it's a great one to start off with.
And what makes mezcal such a great swap for other cocktails, not just margaritas, but other drinks that people enjoy?
Great question. Yeah, it lends itself well to so many styles of drinks. Whiskey cocktails, gin cocktails, because there's so much flavor going on, it's still a clean spirit, but it's got a lot of herbaceous botanical notes from the plant.
Okay, so like an old fashioned.
Absolutely.
Any whiskey
One of our
drink,
favorites.
we like those a lot.
Yeah, we like the smoky drinks.
Yeah.
So that a Paloma.
Yes. Yeah.
I love a Paloma.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we have
What do we
here?
have?
We're doing a taste test today, so this is our first drink.
Yeah, so one of our colleagues out in Portland, Oregon, Jessica Brash, who's an amazing mixologist, came up with one of our favorite margarita variations for the year. This cocktail is melocotonero, which is peach tree in Spanish.
Okay.
So it's got a lot of our favorite flavors. Mezcal, of course, lemon, peach liqueur, a little bit of agave, and then something that we don't see a lot of in a lot of cocktails these days, but sherry, Amontillado sherry. Adds this like beautiful nuttiness to it. Super round, balanced cocktail, and it's a great riff on a margarita, which margarita is Spanish for daisy. The daisy style of cocktail is a spirit, a sweetener, usually like a flavored liqueur or orange liquor, and then a citrus.
Okay, should we try it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Are you trying this with us?
I would be honored.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
okay. All right, that one can be yours.
I'll
Kate
let
and I
you
can
go
share.
first, I guess.
All right, we have cheers, right?
Cheers.
Absolutely.
This
Salud.
is awesome.
Salud. Ooh.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, let me try it.
Oh, that's dangerous. That is
What do you
good.
think?
It's
Wow,
like
delicious.
just sweet enough.
Yeah,
It's not going to give me a headache.
definitely not.
But it is refreshing, it's light, it's fruity, and it's
this-
got the smoky aftertaste.
Definitely, but I feel like some people kind of tend to be scared by the smokiness, but it's not too overpowering
No.
because sometimes it can be too strong and you lose all the other elements of the drink, but I think it's delicious. It's
People
so good.
think mezcal has to be smoky, and that's not the case at all.
Okay.
It is a wide gamut of flavors you can get from mezcal.
didn't realize
And
that.
Uno is really meant to be that nice balance. So you get the flavors of the plant, but also the process, and shows up well in cocktails for at-home,
refreshing.
foolproof at-home cocktailing.
Yeah, and you can add a little garnish. Are these mint?
Fresh mint sprig up top,
Okay.
and then for a little cheeky twist, a little candied peach ring there.
Can I order this at a restaurant? Is this going to be available at?
This was a big thing for National Margarita Day a
Okay.
couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is something you can probably fire up with some of our favorites in Miami.
Okay, so maybe if I'm at Broken Shaker in Miami,
You'll find it.
I
Great
can ask
spot.
for this and
Yeah.
they'll give it to me.
They'll
Wow.
set you up.
This is our new go-to. We'll have to try it.
Okay, and we're going to be
Delicious.
putting all of these recipes on southfldaily.com. So if you aren't in Miami anytime soon and you can't wait,
Make it at
you
home.
can make it at home and you can get your Mezcal Union. Where can we buy this?
All over the place.
Okay.
All of your big box stores, and a lot of your local independent mom and pops as well.
Let's go ahead and bring in our second cocktail.
Bring in La Luchadora.
Okay.
This is a cocktail, margarita style as well. Has some bold flavors, but they really pair nicely, delicately together. You will need to wrestle with the garnish here, hence the name.
Beautiful.
This is a combination of Mezcal Union Uno, some pomegranate, some lime, a bit of an Italian Amaro called Amaro Montenegro, and then a nice ginger syrup to give a little punch.
So for tequila fans, what can you tell them about mezcal that just makes it stand out? Because if you like tequila, good chances are you will enjoy mezcal.
So few people realize that tequila is just the most popular, well-known style of mezcal. So if you're into tequila, you're technically already into mezcal. What's beautiful about mezcal, unlike tequila, tequila can only be made from one type of agave that exists out there called the Blue Weber. Mezcal, you can use any of them, and there's dozens of varieties out there, and they each have their own distinct flavor profile, so there's a wide range to explore. And if you're a fan of the heritage of tequila, the history, all of that is in mezcal and more. This is made using old school production techniques, family generations passing down that tradition, and every bottle of Mezcal Union and many mezcals out there are handcrafted basically in backyard family-run distilleries, which is incredible.
Okay, let's try it.
Okay, I went first last time.
Yes,
so you
my
can go.
turn.
All right,
All
all right,
right,
cheers.
Cheers.
It's delicious.
And I feel like a lot
Oh
of
my
people
gosh.
don't drink mezcal because they're scared it's going to be too smoky.
Smoky, yeah.
But this
It's
is
so
so
good.
nice and blended. It's really nice.
It's not heavy,
Yeah.
it's really delicious and refreshing.
People should not be afraid of mezcal.
South Florida Daily is on the move with Palm Tran.
We climbed the historic Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse, which has guided ships along the Florida coast since 1860. From the top, we had a clear view all the way to the ocean. We could finally see our goal, but we could also look back to where our journey began, far past the treetops in the distance. Traveling these wild waterways under your own power makes you feel like you're part of something bigger. But we certainly weren't the first people to understand the connections in this landscape.
You guys are now at the end of the Loxahatchee River. You have traveled the same routes that the Native Americans have traveled probably for the last 12,000 years. You started in the Everglades, you came up into the Loxahatchee Slough, and then now you're at the mouth of the Loxahatchee River. You've gone by thousands and thousands of years of history. So we are on top of the Shell Mound at Du Bois Park. This whole site is about 6,000 years old.
Would they stand up on the hill to see if there's like intruders?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you don't spend
After experiencing the biology of this ecosystem for the last 5 days, learning about the human history makes this place seem even more special.
People don't realize how deep our history is with sites like this.
Listening to Chris, I wondered how the native people who first traveled these waterways would feel about the ways we've transformed the landscape. They stewarded this place for thousands of years, but it took us less than a century to change it completely. So little is left that they would recognize, and so few of us care about it. It put our whole trip in perspective. By day 6, we were in the home stretch. After 5 days in the wilderness, we arrived in urban Palm Beach County and rode our bikes down US 1 to Lake Worth Lagoon.
It was such an amazing feeling to get off of our bikes and walk through MacArthur Beach and see the ocean.
The Palm Beaches are incredibly fortunate to have this gorgeous wild estuary right next to their urban center.
After traveling around 60 miles and finally reaching the ocean, it's like we finally reached like a goal.
All we have left to do is paddle 4 miles tomorrow. 4 miles, and we're done.
I can't believe that we ended up here. I never thought I could do something like that.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, I did this, this, and this. And then they're gonna be like, whoa, that's crazy. And I'm gonna be like, I know. Just the average life of me, Cortez. Ain't nothing much. Ain't too much. Oh, Ain't nothing much.
I proved myself wrong, so This just goes to show me that I can do anything that I put my mind to.
I'm kind of sad that it's ending tomorrow. I'm gonna miss this, yo.
The South Florida Daily set is sponsored by El Dorado Furniture. There's so many places in South Florida to explore, from the wetlands to state parks. Get out and explore nature in Palm Beach County.
Adventure awaits. Here's Hidden Wild.
South Florida Daily is on the move with Palm Tran.
All right. First Florida scrub jay.
That's literally the first scrub I've ever seen. I'm dying. They just come right up.
Yeah.
Like they don't even care.
And you know how most birds, they'd be okay with you watching from a distance? Scrub jays, they'll walk up 2-3 feet away from you and wonder what you are doing. They are curious, which makes me think they're the scientists of the bird kingdom.
We ended up finding 6 scrub jays. It was a little family and they're very friendly and they came up to us and it was so much fun.
When it comes to burns, like y'all just came from, like one of the post products will be these big snags. And so that's like really important for sentinels.
If the scrub doesn't burn, it gets so dense that the jays can't see their predators. And a lot of plants out here depend on fire for their seeds to germinate. For this ecosystem, fire isn't a natural disaster. It's a life force. I feel like the students are gaining confidence every day in this trip. I see them being willing to ask questions, strike out on their own.
So before, I was actually worried I wouldn't be able to keep up, you know? I still have that big boy anxiety.
I got to learn so many new things today. It was so much fun and I feel way more confident than I did in the beginning of the expedition for sure.
Being out here has just made me so very happy. Everything's so exciting and amazing. It doesn't even come to mind whether I can do something or whether I can't, you know? You just do it.
Truly, the place that surprised me the most was coming out of the wild and scenic Loxahatchee into that crystal clear blue water. I have never seen water that blue in Florida.
The manatee would be my favorite animal so far because they are a literal sea potato, and if you blink they would be like right in front of you and then they would just zoom across. I was astonished at how speedy they were going.
I've never been that close. I sat like in the water and one came up to me. If I reached out my hand, I could have touched it. Looked me right in the eye. Just felt connected, you know, and I also felt like I felt bad. I saw the scars of the motor blades. That's the first thing I noticed.
That afternoon, we had a chance to paddleboard in the estuary, where freshwater and saltwater worlds collide. As we moved along the developed coast, we reflected on what we'd seen, hiking, biking, and floating down Florida's waterways.
After being on this trip, I really got a better understanding of how everything works and how everything in the environment is connected. If you get rid of one species of animal, it's gonna affect all the other animals and the ecosystem.
We literally saw things getting destroyed by development already. A lot of people don't see that perspective.
walk in there and stay in there for 5 days, and you're gonna come out a new person, you know, be like, hey, don't cut that tree down. Everything has a function and purpose everywhere, no matter what it is.
Do you want to see your local business featured on South Florida Daily? We love to feature the best spots in our area.
Go ahead, send us an email, info@southfldaily.com, or send us a direct message on Instagram @SouthFLDaily. We would love to connect with you. We're heading out on a farming adventure to a special place that has crops of vegetables, beans, sugarcane, and so much more.
Let's go on the town to Roth Farms.
You give a lot of tours. Tell me a little bit about how people can take that tour and what you show people.
I do farm tours on a semi-regular basis so that people that are spending 4 or 5 days in Palm Beach County and are tired of sitting by the poolside, they can come out and do a farm tour. So there's ways to do it.
So tell me a little bit of the variety of crops that you grow.
We're vegetable farmers that grow sugarcane. My dad grew up on a vegetable farm in Cleveland, Ohio. Next year will be 70 years growing vegetables and also now growing sugarcane, green beans.
Pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything that we can grow.
Where do you see farming in the near future?
Well, one of the things that's very important for the Glades is that we do sell more and more product directly to the grocery store.
While all of this great Palm Beach produce feeds the nation, it also makes its way to the plates of some of the region's top restaurants, including the ultra-ritzy Breakers Hotel in Palm Beach.
We have 9 restaurants here at the Breakers. They range from Asian to Italian to global tapas.
Sourcing obviously locally has been important to you, and have you always had that mindset as a chef?
Local stuff tastes better. Like for us, it's just a win-win.
Sure.
When the product is fantastic.
You're also growing right here.
We have tomatoes, we have some peppers, we have some blooming taro, we have oregano, rosemary. So it's a lot of the fresh herbs that we use throughout our restaurants.
All right, give me a couple signature dishes that you are like this is my thing.
Our mozzarella caprese salad that we have at our beach club.
It looks like artwork.
You know, you also mentioned when I put it down, the first thing that hit you was the basil.
Oh, absolutely. Smelled it right away.
Now,
I'm just going to warn you that I'm a very honest person.
Let's bring it on and see where we end up.
I don't want to disappoint you,
No.
and I don't want to disappoint the people out there.
Mixed together.
That doesn't even taste like a tomato to me that I'm used to eating. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's really incredible, isn't it?
Wow. If you're living in this area and you've got the Glades and you've got all these areas here that have these local farmers that you can source this from, why would you cook any other way?
If it's available, if it's delicious, if it's fresh and outstanding the way the product we get, you wouldn't want to use anything else.
We will bring the farmers here. As a matter of fact, we had some of our farmers here to have lunch not too long ago, because what it is so they appreciate, they understand the level that we're trying to achieve.
There's no shortage of places to enjoy the ocean and the Palm Beaches, and for this local woman, surfing is a form of therapy.
I'm going to attempt to hang 10 with surf instructor Mary Glazier. She has no idea what she's in for because I've never surfed, so it's probably going to be more like hanging a 5 or a 6.
We're gonna get pitted out
Awesome.
Yeah, that means getting barreled.
What does it mean?
It means like getting barreled.
That means
like in the tube.
Getting hurt.
No.
Basically, no.
Get in the hollow.
When you're going, yeah, and you're like, and the thing's coming over you, and you're just, there'll be none of
there's
that.
some tubes out there.
There'll be, really small.
Yeah, we'll get you in there.
Gurfer lady, teach this novice man about this thing.
Paddling out, yes. One arm at a time.
Oh, one arm?
Yes.
Okay.
1 arm at a time, like big ice cream scoop.
Sure.
I always surfed for myself. It came out of a hardship in my life. I had a brother who was a surfer. He passed away when I was in middle school, and I wanted to take up surfing to connect with him. And so it's always been a mental health hobby for me, to connect with myself, connect with him, connect with nature. And so it took me a long time to actually progress and go past like just being out there for me, flopping around.
Yeah.
So that's why I've loved seeing others progress so rapidly with having that one-on-one coaching. So, big waves coming.
Sure.
You're paddling for it. You're gonna pick up with it.
Yeah,
You're gonna bring your hands under your shoulders.
Yes.
Do a big push up. Bring one foot in just a tiny bit. Your other foot right in between your hands. Shift your toes to the side and then bend the hell out of those knees. I pretty much teach anywhere from 5 years old to I've taught 70-year-old women. And so all within the same mission of just wanting women to feel empowered to do something on their own that they maybe never would have thought they could do. All right, paddle. Push up. Underneath, nice.
Yeah.
That's it, and
That's it.
you're shredding.
Oh, sure, that's it.
Oh yeah, that's
and
it.
At what point do I fall?
Thanks for tuning in today to South Florida Daily. And give us a follow on social. We're on Instagram and Facebook at South FL Daily.
And we have some great news. Now you can watch full episodes on our YouTube page. Head over to southfldaily.com for more information.
Arrive on a blissful morning. Golden rays of light to start the day. Take a walk along stretches of white sand. Towering palm trees sway with the breeze. Dive into the serene ocean. Hidden wonders beneath sapphire waters. Snorkel through tropical reefs. Colorful marine life within a maze of coral. And relax under the warm sun. A paradise where the hours melt away. Whether you're here to lounge, swim, fish, or stroll down the coast, it will be an experience unlike any other. Welcome to our world-class beaches. The perfect place for you. Discover thepalmbeaches.com.
Thanks for watching another episode of South Florida Daily. We hope that we've inspired you to get out and about and explore South Florida.
Maybe you want to come out to a baseball game here at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. Don't forget, spring training ends this weekend, so that you have games Thursday, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then that's it. So hurry up, go get those tickets, RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com.
We're about to watch the first pitch, but we'll see you back here tomorrow at noon on Fox 29.